So, I would like to say that Stranger Things is a franchise that is in a better state than Marvel and Star Wars. It literally, like, it has, it's not a perfect TV series, and there's flaws, but despite not being perfect, I think it has built a fantastic universe. And what I wanted to say is that Stranger Things has expanded material, comics, books, graphic novels, video game stuff, etc. Basically, it has different material and whatnot, and a lot of it is supposedly canon and everything. It has technically its own expanded universe, which Star Wars used to have a great expanded universe when George Lucas owned it. However, ever since Disney has owned the Star Wars franchise and made the expanded universe non-canon in their eyes, and Disney tried to make their own expanded universe, their expanded universe fails in comparison to that expanded universe. Stranger Things, again, isn't a perfect franchise, but it has overall a good expanded universe, unlike Disney Star Wars. Stranger Things has canon novels and comic books, and there's even the recent stage play Stranger Things The First Shadow and the VR game Stranger Things VR. Both of those are also like spin-offs, but they are also heavily canon, and unlike a lot of other material within the Stranger Things expanded universe, it has heavy canon ties. And there's so much lore within them, especially. And even though they're not necessarily to understand the TV show, they still have overall big ties to the universe, which the Star Wars Expanded Universe had also that. It kept continuity without being needed to understand the movies and TV shows. Whereas Disney's Star Wars canon, quote-unquote, has a lot of contradictions and inconsistencies and overall bad quality products. The thing is, at one point, there would be comic books and novels that are supposedly canon, and yet later on, even though it's supposed to be set in the same canon, cartoons suddenly retcon and contradict those supposedly canon novels and stuff, and therefore it breaks continuity. Whereas the Stranger Things Expanded Universe, despite not being perfect and not always having everything be quite right, what a lot of spin-offs have been able to do in the Stranger Things canon is that it has consistencies that connect together. For instance, Stranger Things VR has heavy ties to Stranger Things Season 4, aka Stranger Things 4. And it still fits within the large cog, the large machine, okay? It explores extra details we did not know about. And even though it isn't necessarily necessary to understand the season we already have, it gives further context, like Henry Creel's banishment to upside down and him meeting the Mind Flayer and their relationship beginning. Also, in the Stranger Things stage play, it gives further backstory to his more human life and explores his beginnings of eventually being part of, the Hawkins lab facility and Dr. Martin Brenner. And in the VR game, that's explored too, with him training with his powers and whatnot. And it also showcases, like, him murdering his family in both the VR game and in the stage play. And even though the details aren't exactly perfect, and you could argue there could be some inconsistency-like stuff, it still overall aligns perfectly. Whereas a lot of the cartoons have contradicted what quote-unquote canon novels and comics just because Disney is too lazy to keep their own canon. which makes them decanonizing the expanded universe pointless. It just does not make sense. And you know what's crazy? Just like how George Lucas had a canon tier thing, Duffer Brothers, the creators of Stranger Things, have their own canon system too, right? Similar to George Lucas. Kind of a coincidence. Or maybe perhaps they are smart and they take inspiration from George Lucas's type of thing. Like literally there is an article where you can look at the different canon types, like listing the non-canon stuff, like the crossover stuff and some of the video games and everything like that. Then there's the C or B type of canon thing. I don't know if they're actually called C and B, but there's where it's canon, but it's like insignificant stories, like some stories about the kids and everything that has nothing to do with some overall main narratives and everything, but they are still canon, quote unquote. And then there's the canon that is close to the top tier canon, like the VR game and stage play, even though that they are side material, they still align more on like the other stuff, which is just side stuff and aren't really necessary. Whereas the stage play in the VR game line more with the actual top tier, which is the TV show itself. But at the same time, it's also not necessary, but it still is more necessary than the lower stuff. You get what I'm saying? But yes, point is, Stranger Things has a better expanded universe that is similar to Star Wars' expanded universe, unlike Disney's Star Wars expanded universe that they created. But yes, Stranger Things has a good expanded universe. It's not perfect, but it's definitely better than Disney's Star Wars universe. What do you guys think of this video? Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. I'll talk to you later. Bye.